It just wasn't very nice. Ow! Ow! Ow!
Hello and welcome to the end of day number 20. We are back in the kitchen for very good reasons. Last night we'd eaten everything. I ate the burger and recorded the vlog and all of that sort of stuff, and it got to around about 9:30. I want to say 9:30. And we got Rowan ready for bed and we put him into his bedroom, in his big boy bed for the first time for a night. He's been sleeping in it, you know, for like naps and stuff during the day because it's easy enough for him to get out and come and find me and what have you, but we didn't want to put him in a separate room on his own for an entire night, you know, without keeping an eye on him. So last night we did it for the first time and all was fine, all was good. He went to bed around about 9:30, he was asleep by about 10:30, something like that. All good, and because he wasn't in there, in our room anymore, mine and Sigurd's room, and he wasn't in the cot, we didn't have to lock the cat out all night. Because the cat, Dexter's a very social cat, he likes coming up and going to sleep at your feet on the bed, and he gets a little bit weird if he's not around people. So, you know, we kept locking him out because what he was doing is around about 3 o'clock in the morning, he was climbing into Rowan's cot and he was attacking Rowan's head to wake him up because he evidently decided that he wanted food or someone to play with in the middle of the night, and obviously Rowan ended up crying and stuff like that. So we got rid of the cat, sent him out, locked the doors. Because Rowan's in his own room and he can reach the door handle and open it and stuff, we figured, right, we can have the cat in with us. We don't have a problem with him waking up the boy because the boy's in a different room, and Rowan can come out of the bedroom, which is attached to ours, and we'll wake up if he does that. Around about 2 o'clock in the morning, I think it was, about 1:30, 2, that's when I went to bed. I usually only get about 6 hours of sleep a night. It's not the end of the world. If I need to, I have a nap with the boy in the middle of the day. Around about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, so it's still pitch black outside, all the lights are off, the cat went mental and started playing. And like, because we're still sort of unpacking stuff and trying to get areas sorted and, you know, like organize the bedroom and stuff, there's like little bits around the room, like crinkly paper bags and stuff with clothes in. The cat started playing with those, so that woke me and Sigurd up. So we laid there and, you know, we're trying to go back to sleep, and around about 4 o'clock now, while we're still just trying to doze off, Rowan started making noises. You know, like we could just sort of hear it at the very, very edge of our hearing, like, right, that sort of stuff. You know, just little cute baby noises, like little babbles and stuff. He doesn't really talk at the minute. He says a couple of words, but not much. Then after about maybe 5-10 minutes, he started crying. So we heard that, we got up, we went in, we rescued him from a room on his own, and he was absolutely soaked through. I don't remember who had changed his nappy last, if it was me or Sigurd, but evidently he'd, you know, had enough water to overcome the flood barrier, let's say. Mattress was soaked, he was soaked. All right, okay, part of parenting, right? So picked him up, got him out, changed him, cleaned him all off, got him dressed in some fresh clothes, fresh nappy, that sort of thing, and brought him back. And because his bedroom was soggy, put him in the cot in our room, locked the cat out, all good. And he didn't go back to sleep until about 8 o'clock in the morning. And neither did we. So Suguta usually leaves the bedroom and gets ready and gets sorted and goes off to work around about 7 o'clock, 7:30, something like that. Around about 6:30 in the morning, she got ready and just like went and got dressed because she'd already been awake for hours and hours. I was still laid there and just couldn't go to sleep really either. I was sort of dozing off little by little, but then like Rowan is still moving around and playing, so it was waking me up. Oh God. I eventually fell back asleep with Rowan in the bed with me. I don't remember exactly when he got into the bed with me, but I do know that when I woke up, it was around about 9:30 in the morning, and the double bed, so let's say this is a double bed, so, you know, like one side is mine, one side is Suguta's. And where my pillow would be, the boy was laid with his head here and his feet all the way across there, and I was laid in the bed like this, with my head and my right arm hanging entirely off the side. So that was rather an unpleasant sleeping position. So we got up. I felt awful. I really did. I felt so just like sick to my stomach, and it's a bunch of contributing factors. I think it's what I ate last night. I think it's like the vegan burger and stuff. I think there was more oil in it than I thought, and certainly a lot more salt in it than I thought, because oh man, like it wasn't heartburn. I've had heartburn very, very infrequently, and I know it wasn't that. It was more just like a really tight, awful feeling in and around my stomach and abdomen, and oh man, it was not pleasant. If that was not worth eating that burger. So that ain't happening again for a while, I don't think. That was painful, but it was probably that, and you know, like very, very broken sleep and very short amount of sleep and all sorts of things. Around about lunchtime, fed the boy. He's been very, very subdued all day, so me and him had a lie down, had the lunch, got up after a little bit of a nap. Me and him had about an hour together. Got up, sat down in the living room. He's been really subdued all day, and he's, you know, like it's come to dinner time. Suguta and him have had like a taco mix sort of stuff and some little hot dog things and some salad that I made, which is this bowl of salad. It's just lettuce and cabbage and more lettuce and carrots and stuff. Splash of apple cider vinegar just to freshen it, bit of oregano and rosemary and thyme and stuff like that. And immediately after that, he's just gone to bed, and he's gone straight to sleep, like within around about 5 minutes. And it's actually before his normal bedtime, so he's probably going to wake up around about like 6 in the morning or something. So, you know, I've got that to look forward to, but hopefully it means I can have a little bit of an early night as well. It's actually still light outside, so it's very, very much earlier than usual. And that's why I'm not in my area recording this, because my area is right next to the bedroom. So if I was doing it in there, he'd be, you know, hearing me whinge on constantly and talk. And the reason I'm not in the living room and recording this is because Suguta is watching the most recent episode of Game of Thrones. And I don't watch it. I've never watched it. I've never been particularly taken by the idea. I'm not really a fantasy sort of guy. I'm a sci-fi guy. So I'm relegated to the kitchen. It's like the only place in the house that I can be and talk without disturbing anyone. So we're back here at the bare walls, I guess. I've got plenty of salad now for the next couple of days. Should be good. I've finished off the the last of my spaghetti bolognese quinoa mix sort of stuff, and a little bit of the whole wheat pasta. I couldn't finish that side of it by the time I'd eaten the salad, because it's really, really dense, like lettuce and white cabbage and even more lettuce and stuff. I just didn't have the room to finish anything like what I normally do. And I just wasn't really enjoying it. It wasn't as good. It's been there for a couple of days in the fridge. It's fine. It's just, wanted something a little bit more exciting, I think. So no, I've got some potatoes and some cheese sauce, and I've still got a bunch of hummus that I made and all of that sort of stuff. So I think I'm going to be attempting a curry, like lentil and chickpea, I think, and I can have that with brown rice, or I can put that on potatoes, or whatever. So yeah, that's going to be the plan for tomorrow. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. I think what I'm going to do tonight, because I've made a bit of a mistake earlier on today. So I've been watching a bunch of the really old Loading Ready Run stuff. Basically, they're a comedy troupe who do a lot of video game skits and play stuff on live streams, and they're the people who do the Desert Bus, which is based on the really old Penn and Teller video game where you drive a bus with no passengers from I think it's Houston, Texas, all the way up to Vegas to raise money for special effect and like video games for disabled children and disabled people, and it's really awesome. And I've been watching a bunch of their old stuff for moving from one what they call a moon base to the next. So basically just like renovating office space so that it's actual film studios and casting studios and streaming lounges and stuff. I'm not a carpenter by any stretch, but when I was doing film and TV stuff, putting together a set and doing the lighting rigs and doing all your sound setup and all your cable bashing and this, that and the other, all of that was kind of my jam. That was what I used to get into and fix when I wasn't doing script writing or directing or floor managing or anything. And just watching that has made me want to sort of plan out stuff again. So the kitchen here in my apartment, German apartments don't come with kitchens. So I built this pretty much on my own. There was, a little bit of help from my wife and my brother because I put my back out lifting Rowan out of the cot at one point. And, I was laid up for a couple of weeks. It's mostly better, I want to say. It certainly hasn't given me as much trouble for quite a while. But all of this is just like an IKEA special, and that's why I've got so many tools hanging up on the wall in my nerd cave, because it's literally what I needed to build the kitchen. Putting together the boys' bedroom, I've done all of that, and we've painted the walls and built the bed and got shelves and put giant leaves from IKEA up on the wall so he's got like a bit of shade from like the overhead lights and stuff. My mistake is I've been watching the Loading Ready Run guys set up their studio and stuff, and obviously I don't have space to do a studio. And my nerd cave is pretty much done. There's a couple of shelves that I want to get, but that's a thing that can wait for future. But what we do need to do is fix the bedroom, and now that we're trying to move Rowan out of it, now is about the time that we can start planning where stuff's going to go. So I'm now really sort of ramped up for figuring out furniture that I want to put in and how I want to kit bash everything so that it's not exactly standard IKEA stuff, but everything like fits together, and you've got these like clothing rails and drawers and wardrobes and mirrors and so yeah, it's inspired me to get another building project and planning project on the go, which is not great. I've still got so much stuff that I need to do. I've got a board game that I need to finish painting all of the miniatures for and organizing all the pieces. I've got another one that I want to plan out a laser cut organizer set that fits inside the box, so everything's organized and it makes tidying up easier. Anyway, right, this is definitely more than enough. I'm gonna call it here. Thank you very much for joining me. I shall see you at the end of day 21. Tomorrow is a weigh-in day. See you next time. Bye-bye.